Yes. Today, it's time for Dork Court, a place where the dorks hold court about various Star Trek things on Dork Trek. Dr. John Price has been smeared throughout every bit of reality, overtaxed, overwhelmed. He's been replaced, quantum leap style, this episode by Captain Walker. I'm not sure Captain Walker is ready. He is. Is Captain Walker ready? Maybe not.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm mostly ready. I am needing to charge my iPad, and the cord is just short. Okay, there it is. I'm in.
I can kick you off again and reintroduce you as if you've come back from, I don't know, Napula Stretchy 5.
We should do a thing where we get the ability to. I don't know why I have these on. They're not helping. We should have VFX so that we can like beam in. You know.
I agree. If only someone we knew had the ability to do stuff like that.
Look, I'm working on it. I'm learning. I got school, man.
I love how you look more Starfleet than the guy that played Mr. Kyle in Strange New Worlds season 1.
Price.
Right. Well, anyway, thanks for filling in for Dr. Price.
Of course. Always happy to do it.
And wearing the cool uniforms, because we look like we're on the same ship now.
Yeah, of course. I just have a quick question.
Hit me.
It's kind of dark over where in your area.
Yes.
And it's blending in with the thing. Do you want me to just go get the ring light really quickly?
No.
Okay.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I care.
I can turn, is that better? I can.
Yeah.
I'll just turn on the other computer and keep that going. Yeah, so check it out. How we doing? We're doing good. Craig Sagasag says school, which, as you know, school for him was Lowell High School.
Man.
Hey, why don't you do an ad for that Bundaberg guava stuff you're drinking?
Bundaberg guava drinks. It looks like an alcohol kind of, but it's not.
I don't know. Maybe some Australian girl will think that's funny. Like, valiant effort for that kid in America trying to do crikey. Anyway,
shrimp on the bobby. Let's
tell how advertising and association works, because we were walking through the grocery store. Daddy loves that shit from when he went to New England.
Yeah, so
New Zealand.
So you got the it's on one of those like pop-up things where it's just like cardboard, like sturdy cardboard. Yeah, sturdy
point of purchase item.
Yeah, point of purchase thing where you're in the car, you're walking, it's right there. Oh, we should try that. And I mean, they do root beer that I've been having, ginger beer that I've been having since I was but a little tyke, and I really like it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they have this. I think we saw it was like a blood orange, like a blood orange flavor, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty interesting. But I don't really like blood orange; it's just a little tart. So I saw they have this guava one. I was like, oh, that looks really good. So we grabbed it, and it's amazing. I love it. My one note is that it includes 86% of your sugar for the day, which is kind of a lot.
Kind of.
So if they're gonna like try again, maybe less sugar so I can have more of them. But
I love how that it gives you a solid B of your sugar for the day in one little bottle. It's like, that's it. If you had 2 of those, like one in the morning or one at lunch and one at night, you've had 150% of your sugar for the day. 1.5 times.
The percent of daily sugar in this is higher than the grade I got on my AP Psych final.
Just barely, though. You did really well.
It is about. I got an 82. This is 86.
Yeah, that's nothing to laugh at. It's AP at a really strongly competitive school.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that.
We're all good. It's not like you need to learn how to, write in cursive or use math. So Star Trek. So Price is hilarious. I told you he hasn't even watched this season of Discovery yet.
And neither have I.
Well, and I have to admit that I haven't either. I've had it on while I did other stuff. And that I hate to watch TV like that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It will run like Star Wars or Raiders or some alien.
Wait, like to give people context, the ideal show to have on in the background in the Young household is either Bar Rescue or Forged in Fire. Those are like perfect background TV. So Discovery is not that, and that says something about how we're viewing it.
Well, sure. I mean, most people interact like that, right? I mean, you have to pay attention to hour-long scripted adventure shows because it's a different beast than like, geez, I hope this guy from Idaho makes that scimitar correctly,
Yeah, that's why
fire was a little low. I think that's not going to work.
That's why we watch Main Cabin Masters at night instead of like.
Hey, do you know what I did with that water I had?
The key lime?
Yeah.
I thought you brought it over with you because you gave me the guava one.
Oh, I think I know what happened. It's on the other side of this other computer. Hang on a sec.
I'll keep people entertained. Okay. Oh, it's just you and me now. This is fun. I always like when this happens. All right. Let's see. What to talk about? It's like a Star Trekian thing I can talk about. Okay.
Maybe the shirt you're wearing.
Oh yeah. So this Strange New Worlds. Okay. Is it my favorite show? No, it's probably my second favorite Star Trek. My favorite Star Trek. I'm an original series guy, I have to say. I really like I feel like the original series is kind of the baseline for what all Star Trek should be, which of course it is. But it says like even like shows immediately after it, I find sometimes don't really hold up to that. Like my idea of Star Trek is you need to tackle a current topic, but put it in the futuristic setting and make everyone aliens and have someone be able to watch it like 30 years later and go, wow, that still holds up to this day. So until Discovery does a satire on peace on the Middle East, I will not think it's a good show.
Here's what I hear you saying, that like the old Star Trek was adventure stories but couched with morality plays.
Yeah.
It like meant something. Like, I don't know if you saw those black and white cookies that I made the picture of. For the ad for this, I bought some black and white cookies today from the bakery for the express purpose of taking this picture. They have frosting on it. It's half black and half white, right?
Oh, that's gonna be good tonight.
So yeah. Oh man, I had one. They're so good. It's just like, why do I have this? It's
so we end this early and just start eating cookies, right?
Yeah, coincidentally, you eat one of those, also 84% of your sugar for the day. So pick one, right?
Oh, my heart.
Anyway, they're half black, half white, like that episode of the old series, Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, where they tackle how racism really is so ridiculous in the middle of the Civil War, where there's two characters and one is black on one side. They're half black and half white, and they hate each other. It's this racial inequality. Obviously, they're the inferior beings. They're white on the right side, right? And to a little kid, it tells you in the coolest action adventure way possible the folly and stupidity of racism, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you hit all these morality plays of Star Trek just as a kid, it really shapes your worldview, man.
Yeah.
Like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one,
Yeah.
So that's the thing that Discovery is missing, especially with changing the format every season.
Yeah.
And you and me have spoken about this, I think, even on regular Dork Court, about how nobody writes cool lines.
Oh yeah, we need, like, people don't write to quote anymore. They just write.
Well,
they write to set up the big VFX action.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just what I was going to say. They're not writing to prove a point, right? Like when Kirk goes, risk is our business. It like means something, you know? And they're trying to prove a point that space is hard, and
Yeah.
it's not a joke what they're doing out there, even though they're fighting little stuffed animals that purr, or guys with rubber foreheads. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's what's missing now.
I just had the thought where maybe like that could like, maybe like, yeah, that's like, maybe writers do write sometimes, like, they write to do that. But even if a writer is writing like, oh, this is going to be the power line, this is going to be the line that people quote, it's still going to be drowned out by the visual effects. Like, what was the one with Captain Tracy?
Oh, the Omega Glory?
The Omega Glory.
Yeah.
So in the Omega Glory, when they come down, they're like, oh, freedom, Yang worship word. That's kind of that's just like on a set. That's in like a small room about the size of this cabin, maybe a little bigger that way.
Yeah, it's a jail cell.
Yeah, with people lining the walls and someone holding an American flag, with Captain Tracy and Captain Kirk standing looking at each other and talking. And so if that was done today, that's on this giant battlefield after they've had this entire fight. People are dead. There's spaceships shooting at each other in the sky, and like explosions are going off in the background. And all of the dialogue will be the same, but it won't feel as meaningful because you'll have all of these fake special effects going on where people are like, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, instead of sitting on the edge of their seat waiting to hear what that characters say next.
I love that you said that, because the second you went, oh, if they did that scene today, I immediately thought of the drone shot that has to happen.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
I know exactly what you mean already. You haven't even said it. It's just so obvious, like how they shoot dumb shit today to spackle over the fact that what they're talking about, or what the motive power of the scene is, or what kind of thing is advancing the plot doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just some corporate thing that they decided, oh, we need to collect these 5 puzzle pieces that reference some old Next Generation show, because we have no fucking idea what we're doing with this episode. So let's just do that until they cancel us, and we'll hope that they do Lower Decks in live action now.
Yeah. I feel like movies would be better if there was kind of a metaphorical meteor that hit Hollywood and we would just have to start making movies like we did in like back when like the original Dune came out, and like the original Star Trek series was a thing where you have shitty special effects, but because you have shitty special effects, you have better dialogue and better stories.
Don't you think that's what's going on with the A24 guys that all you Zoomer guys love? That they don't have the bloat of the Hollywood, blockbuster over them, so they can just do these small, quick things. And if they hit big because of the comparison. And if they don't hit, it's no big deal because they're small movies, and no one has expectations for.
Costs like $20 and some buttons.
So that's what we did for our comic books, man. Right? The expectations are so low that when you hit big, just getting mentioned in Entertainment Weekly seems like wildly out of proportion for what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Even though, man, we're just doing comic books just like everybody else, right?
Yeah. So I just came up with a good contrast. So like looking at the original Star Trek as like what it should be, as like good stuff, where you have you're in like a small jail cell, a bunch of people are talking, people are having dialogue. Like that's what I think like movies and TV shows should be. I think they should be, or if you're talking narratively, but looking at Rebel Moon, like Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, I mean, we only watched part 1, but even that, like, while it's a beautiful movie, like when they have like the robot and that little robot's just like, even for like the 5 minutes he's on screen, is just beautiful. Every single shot, he's sitting there like wiping the mud off, or the I believe it's poop, wiping the poop off of him, and the girl like puts the flower crown on him. And then later at the end of the movie, he stands up with like this spear and the antler crown, and he's got all of this like nature garb on to show that he's had a life while all of this movie is going on. It's just it's a beautifully shot movie. But from that beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, that story still looks amazing. It's awful.
You don't like the story? Huh?
The story. Well, okay. It's a book in live action. It's a book in live action.
I'm just as your dad, I'm really interested, because the reason you think the story is lacking is because you are a 16-year-old that's really well versed in all the shit that he stole from to make his movie. So yeah. you don't see it like, oh, what a cool thing of putting all this goop together. Like Star Wars impressed everybody because nobody went, oh yeah, if you take Hidden Fortress and put in some Kurosawa samurai movies and put World War II planes in it, and that's awesome. Like nobody saw that coming. But like now, like people are pretty well versed in stuff. And if you just steal from other sci-fi movies, your average sci-fi fan is going to get most of your references, right?
Yeah, especially.
So that's probably why you think, the story kind of laid there. But damn, man, even some of the visuals people didn't get. One of the big dings was that thing that we loved about the Anthony Hopkins robot, like going total native, and what that means to like a killing machine is a peaceful part of nature again, and like what that fucking means in just an image, right?
Yeah.
Like, so many people didn't get that, and they're all like, oh, they're just stealing from Thor because that's Odin, and just the most like, obvious thing is like, dude, that's why you don't get Zack Snyder, because you don't understand what you're looking at.
I think that's Odin, or like that's any sort of god character. Where do you think they came from? Those are archetypes. Those are stories.
Well, like, because Anthony Hopkins is the voice of the robot, but he's also Odin and Thor, and then the antlers, and it's just the most obvious like Olive Garden fry cook observation that you can get, right? And it's so, I hate doing that, man. I hate it, because I don't mean to make fun of people, or that Olive Garden fry cooks or whatever can't understand narrative, but there's sometimes I get really frustrated, and because there seems like so many people going, oh, I don't like Superman's suit, it's too dark, the colors are too muted. It's like, it's a nighttime shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
what do you want?
It's like nighttime with purple light.
Just look at this blue. What color is this blue? You don't know. It's a muted shot, right?
It's a super light blue. I'll tell you. If I went there and I sat over there, and you came out here and sat here, where the light is just such a stark contrast, like this would be a much more muted yellow. Wow, that was a lot of M's. And your blue would just be very blue.
Anyway,
color theory.
That Superman thing just cracked me up, because I looked at it. It's the first time we see the suit, right? So I had some quibbles about its effectiveness as a marketing piece, but like, it's cool. The guy looks like Superman, but like, looking like Superman is the easy part.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, people are like, oh, there's too much visual interest on his thing. There are seams all over it. Oh, but at least he has the red trunks. It's like, I get that there's not a lot to talk about, but like, let's talk about something besides that.
Yeah. Oh my God. This has one too many seams on it. I think it should have been.
I don't know. It just seemed like the criticism was a lot of obvious shit. And I hope that nerds used to be not the regular Joes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, regular Joes were like, Joe, six pack. Yeah. What the Niners do yesterday? Hey, did you see,
Yeah.
But the whole world is like nerd jocks now. Actually, nerd jocks are the apex, right?
Yeah,
you are both nerd and jock.
I feel like everyone's going like, oh, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. No, you just watched all the Marvel movies. Doesn't mean you're a nerd.
Well,
yeah, look, don't call yourself a nerd unless you've seen Squatties 3 times.
I don't know about that, man. You can't. Other people can't judge levels of nerdiness, right?
That's
It's like saying, you know, oh, I had a bad day. Like, okay, but like you got a roof over your head and you got a working car and food security. You know, other people. Then you know, you can't compare yourself to other people.
of course.
So, you know, I just want people to look at things in context, right? If you don't like something, fucking go nuts, man. But tell me why you don't like it. Don't tell me what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Because you know what, my 7-year Shield Agents of Shield book would have been all about how it really should have been a super spy show. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but that's not riding the wave, man.
Yeah.
Like when the big wave comes, you want to turn into that and hop on your board and get a good run. You don't want to go, you know, or let it go. Like that's not the wave I'm going to catch. I'll get the next one. You don't want to get up on it and go, hey, fuck this wave, because then you just fall off and you drown, right?
Yeah.
Like just pick your pitch. And most people aren't picking their pitches. They're like, I didn't like Dune. I didn't like Barbie. I didn't like Oppenheimer. It's like, well, those are 3 different movies.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about all 3 of those? That's a conversation, not just like this endless like
a conversation that hopefully ends up in you finding a movie that you like.
I get it, man. You know us in Dorkcore, we watch crap so you don't have to.
Yeah.
But we contextualize it, right? We observe the stuff in its environment and like understand like the scope of the project, like the stuff people are saying about Unfrosted. You want to talk about that? Because the only Star Trek news really is that 93-year-old William Shatner has finally said he'd be happy to jump into a Star Trek as long as they de-age him, because he's got nothing to say as 93-year-old William Shatner, and I think that's cool. I get it. Like, do the voice for a CG version. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm all good with that. Like, there's enough pictures of him from 1966 that they could get a nice big, nice, really good photorealistic CG of him. Do that. That's cool.
Please.
But other than that, like getting back to the kids and Unfrosted.
Yeah, Unfrosted. Yeah.
The big ding about that is that, you know, it was a farce. It was a satire. None of that stuff really happened. And it's like, yes. Yeah. That like people seem to forget like all of Mel Brooks's movies and like the first 5 Woody Allen movies. It's like sometimes really broad, funny, hilarious shit happens, and then you laugh at it.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, well, that guy married a 17-year-old once, and then he's mad at Bobcat Goldthwait, so everything sucks. All right. I mean, but like guys like us, we create things, right? You and me, we write stuff down.
Yeah.
Like, it's separate from like what you got in your push history, right? And test.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. See, finally.
Yeah.
Here we go. It felt like a Mel Brooks flick. Thanks, Hector. It really did.
Can we? Yeah. Okay. I was just gonna say, can we highlight that one, because I want to talk about that for a second. Yes, that was beautiful. That was my favorite scene.
All right, that's good. Why do we love Bill Burr so much? Because it's like listening to your dad, right?
It really is. It really is. It's just more like football instead of like Star Trek.
Yeah, I love how Bill Burr hates Star Wars but gets to be in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just funny.
So is that all we got to do now to get in it?
Hector's right too. These guys don't want conversation; they want to be acknowledged. That's cool, man. Everybody wants to be acknowledged, but say something that's not belly aching.
Yeah,
but Chuck, man, I'm dying to see Fall Guy. How have we not seen Fall Guy yet?
I was thinking, like Thursday or Friday, like last Thursday or Friday. I was like, I feel like we should go see a movie. Like, I feel like there's a movie that we should be watching.
Agreed.
And it's Fall Guy, and I forgot that that's out.
I did not.
Well, I know what we're doing this weekend.
The only reason I haven't gotten to see it yet, because I got the secret feeling Mommy's going to love it because of Ryan Gosling and the whole Ken thing.
Yeah.
I love Chuck. Stay for the credits. Yeah. We stay for the credits, don't we?
Yes. Sorry.
I love that too. Yeah. I had explained, remember I had explained who the Doublemint twins were?
Yeah.
So you get that joke. There was a lot of that. I love that they did that. Steve Schwinn, the guy who made the bicycle, somehow ended up being Chuck Yeager in Right Stuff. That was great. That's why I don't understand. Like, once a scene like that goes by, like, how do you not know what you're watching, right?
Yeah. They made like a ravioli monster.
Right.
Like,
that was offensive to all ravioli monsters, right? Because
they're not monsters. They're ravioli creatures.
They're special.
That's what my ravioli friends
Special teams, special boss.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
Did you want to make an announcement to the Walker Young fans about next year's sports hitch?
I can't. What?
The next year's sports situation, or can you not?
Can we? I thought as I was leaving, you said we couldn't talk about that.
Oh, not that.
Oh,
I meant your team.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I had my finger on the kill switch. I'm like, he's not going to mention that. That is, I told him we can't talk about that. That's not our story.
All right, we're good. I think we're good. Yeah.
Oh, I saw a flash, and now I just remember I like Will Smith movies. What happened? Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So in Walker news, I guess
the power of Ant-Man's head compels you.
As everyone knows, I'm big guy, big guy hit big people. So I do football, and then I did a little swimming in my sophomore year, and now junior year I did football and then lacrosse. And lacrosse is really fun, don't get me wrong. I like hitting big people with sticks. Turns out other people like hitting bigger people with sticks as well. And after a while, that really starts to hurt the big people who have tiny pain receptors.
Big people are people too, right?
Yeah, big people are people too. So I'm gonna go back to swimming and get
Sagasaki, man.
College heroes.
Look at this. Got to drop. See you later, folks. Thanks, Chris. Good to see you. Stay out of trouble. Not too much Star Trek going on.
Yeah.
Us just wrapping. Sorry. So anyway,
no. I mean, no. We gotta give the people their goodbyes. Yeah. I'm swimming now instead, so I can get nice and strong.
So instead of football, lacrosse, you're football swimming again.
Yeah. So
that's it. That was a quick story.
Swimming was the fittest I've ever been, and when I go to college, I think being the fittest I've ever been is probably smart, if you know what I'm talking about.
A bunch of new people to introduce yourself to. You just want to be looking good. That's nobody.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, nobody's thinking different. You're all good. So yeah. Right. There's man.
Let's look at the speaker notes.
No, I was looking for the stuff that's for Star Trek. It's all like Shatner going, "Oh, I'd be open to like de-aging," and Tilly saying, "Oh, let me explain something that happened with a tricorder." I hate modern Star Trek. I can't wait until you know what I mean. The Kurtzman led Star Trek, which is crazy. There's so many good people working on it, and the good stuff just isn't coming out. For example, even when they try something good, one of the episodes this year, she runs across the ISS Enterprise, which is the mirror of the Imperial Starship Enterprise, which is the mirror universe one, right?
Okay.
But it's the Discovery Universe version of Pike's Enterprise, right? So they're in the future of this thing, and the ship they find the abandoned, destroyed ship. It's still kind of activated. They find out what it is, right? They don't know what's happened, but the guys from our timeline have gone through a wormhole and they find this thing floating. And so basically Burnham and Book, her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, soap opera bullshit that doesn't matter, are standing on this empty redress set going, oh, hey, this is the thing. Oh, it says here that a Kelpian rebel, got everybody together and like got everybody out of the ship and off to safety. So if the ship is abandoned and still running, this is just to tell everybody that we got away clean. And they go, oh, hey, cool. Even in this universe, like Action Saru like did the deed and helped everybody out, which is great. I don't know why they did that. It's like stopping the narrative dead to do some kind of plot-based Easter egg, right?
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do that, why in God's name do you have two people standing in the jail cell, like you said, talking about what happened, instead of showing some flashback stuff or shoot a quick thing in the sets, but have it all crapped out and everything?
Yeah,
so it's like a readout that they're watching.
I was gonna say, if you just have them like clicking on a computer and then it plays on the computer, or even if you have all of that exposition, but as of like a video that they took of like just going, hey, what's up, YouTube? We got everyone out, so the show's still running.
Maybe
we're good. So
maybe not.
Like, comment down below.
Maybe not like that, but like the Star Trek version of it, right? Where the two of them are leaning over the thing, and you show the picture of the screen, right?
Yeah.
But you have to show it. Just go like, oh, this is what it says. Come on, guys.
It's lazy.
It's lazy and not very Star Trek-y.
Yeah.
Even in the old Star Trek, when they didn't have the money to do stuff like that, they would act the shit out of it, right? They would get really tight on somebody's face, and then they would do that, da-da, da-da-da,
yeah,
da-da-da, like distant drum beat music, dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
and then they would put you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you feel like you're there.
But that's an intimate shot and stuff like, I don't know. You and me talk about this stuff all the time, but it's just like putting the audience at a remove, where it's like, oh, here's this thing that happened. Oh, isn't that interesting? Yeah, well, that's cool. Even the mirror guy is kind of like our guy. Right on. And then they go on to the next thing, and it's just so. It's kind of like baking cookies by a recipe and not by knowing how your oven heats up.
Yeah.
How this particular butter works, and the particular, like, how knowing that you got to do something different in Denver than you do at sea level. They just don't. They're just like, I'm just going to jam this story. And all of a sudden, all the, Frisbee players are actually alligators. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't work that way. You can't tell the same story. Like, alligators can't throw Frisbees. Like, it's going to be a short Frisbee team story. I feel like I kind of went off on a weird random babble there.
I was thinking about on Friday if I'm going to I have my A push test and what I was going to do regarding my later classes. But that's a story for when Mommy gets home.
Gotcha. I was just thinking we sort of like reached a logical end, even though it's only been about
we've been like on for like half an hour,
33 minutes. Why don't we just call it?
Okay.
There's no big Star Trek. What's that?
I said there's no Star Trek.
No big Star Trek to talk about. I might go and finish the Discovery I was watching but it's just so, I don't care.
Mommy asked me to clean my room, so I guess I should do that.
Can you imagine? Cleaning your room is better than watching Star Trek Discovery. Can you say that so we can clip that out and use that? Just look into the camera and say that.
Cleaning my room is better than watching Star Trek Discovery. Should I do it again?
I guess that's cool. Whatever you want. I was just thinking a little of this, You didn't have to do like a big thing.
Clean, blah 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 blah. Cleaning my room. How did you want this one?
We're good.
My character wouldn't say this. Can I try something?
I don't know why you're talking to the blank wall.
Dude.
Let's go. Let's wind it up.
Cleaning my room is better than watching Star Trek Discovery.
Thank you.
Was that good? One with a little more oomph. I can do it again. I get paid by
look into the camera and say, see you next week at 3 on the internet.
See you next week at 3 on the internet.